I'm Colin.
And I'm John.
How you both doing? Colin, you're sounding a wee bit better than you have been. Aye, recovering. Getting there.
You
Hopefully,
fighting fit?
no, not yet. But better than I was on Sunday and Monday. Aye, or Tuesday or Wednesday actually as well. So yesterday and the day's been a bit better on that.
And John, you've famously got the desirable voice of the Long Bangers podcast, as one of our listeners used to DM us to tell us.
Oh, once upon a time. I don't know if that's still true.
What's her name?
Debbie. Well, I don't know. It was Debbie's partner.
Hmm,
It wasn't a Debbie herself. Debbie maybe doesn't give a fuck about my voice,
yeah.
but
Fair
our,
enough.
our missus certainly enjoyed it.
Chris said, "Hello, I'm a viewer," with a wee laughing emoji there. Chris, sorry we were a wee bit late on. Thought we might be getting a row for you when we were slow starting. Um, I've been a busy old week, eh? Like we obviously had the Rangers game on Monday night, and then the phone in. I don't know if he's caught the phone in. It was a really good one. A lot of chat about
hmm
David Gray, um, which has been interesting. And that's been the sort of the talk of the message boards all week. And we'll probably pick up again on Sunday when we do the main episode, because obviously the days are just about looking ahead to the weekend's game.
And our opinions might change depending on tomorrow's game.
Aye, that's it. Such is the life of a fickle football fan, eh?
Yeah.
Sandy said then there were two evening long bangers. So that says well, we're on more than two viewers now, but yes, nice to see you both two commenting. Um, right, where will we start? Colin, how are you feeling about the game this weekend?
Well, admit I've not thought an awful lot about it, right? But I was thinking about it last half hour there before I came on. They had a good result the other night, and I did watch that
Mhm.
actually. I didn't think they were great. Like I thought Celtic were a better team, but um, obviously they had that 20-minute spell where they got the two goals, and fortunate probably for the second where it should have been offside, and they got the
Aye,
corner for that. But obviously the VAR can't sort that out. Um, so I'm kind of leaning to the point where when you get a good result against the Old Firm or even a derby or whatever, you get a good result, and then you go into the next game and the expectations are higher, but you can't live up to them and you can't get to
aye,
that level again. I'm kind of hoping they're in that point where they've not been good. They got Celtic on the perfect night where they weren't taking their chances. They took their two, took their bit of luck. I'm hoping like they're revert to the normal tomorrow, which has been pretty shite.
yep. John, what about you? What are your thoughts for it?
Just my usual quietly optimistic, but also because I think our form this season it tends to be all right, not so good, all right, not so good. So I'm hoping that as we were not so good on Monday there that or at least sorry the result wasn't so good. I'm optimistic that it's going to be a decent result tomorrow for us.
Aye,
Our
aye,
form has been totally inconsistent, eh?
aye.
Like it's not even like normally. Can we were starting? I know we're not going to talk about the manager and all that, but when we spoke about before, and it's been well, Jack Ross got sacked because he lost 9 games or whatever it was, and they never won in 9 or 11 or something. Um, we're not like that here. Like
Mhm.
it's, and I heard Ewan talking about it on Down the Slope or something like 6 wins, 6 draws, 5 defeats
Aye,
or something.
it's almost level right across the three bit
Aye, we're,
results.
we're like one of everything. You know what I mean? We're never,
Perfectly average.
and it's exactly, and it's never. It's not been 6 wins, then 6 draws, and then 5 defeats. It's been like a win, a draw, a loss. But there's no runny anything. There's
Hmm.
nothing. There's no momentum. There's no decline. It's just like a gradual, like a constant nothing.
Aye, it's been our season, isn't it? Like
Aye,
it's either a good average or shite. It's pretty much how it's gone.
aye, wee bit.
Um, Colin, I just want to touch on what you were saying about Dundee United on what night was that? Was that Wednesday night they
Wednesday
played?
night, yeah, yeah,
I'm kind of hoping that Goodwin does the thing that football folk do a lot, which is they see the result and
aye,
it's like if it's a win, everything's grand.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's funny.
Jinky's been sat with his feet up since Wednesday thinking that's me, a
Nah,
fucking crack management beat
But folks,
Celtic.
but
no,
you think, but that's what supporters do. That's what football folk do. It's like
mhm.
you do sort of because the result is what matters, right? And that's what managers get sacked on. But actually, it can make you rest on your laurels a bit.
Aye.
Maybe that's what I'm hoping.
Because Dundee United will probably look at it like they went 2-1 up, and it was kind of backs to the wall without being absolutely pummeled after that. I never saw the first half on Wednesday night, but by all
It was
accounts,
one-way traffic.
Celtic could have been a few goals up. But often when you have a team come away at the end of that result and they go, well, we only conceded one, it's a good defensive performance, and they miss the fact Ken Maida's missed for a yard out with his header. I can't remember the name of the other forward. Has missed a few chances.
Couldn't he kick his own arse? That's the I didn't care where that saying comes from, by the way, because that's quite a hard thing to do, But
you can back heel it easy enough, but a toe poke, you're struggling.
Yeah. But I mean, some of he's hopeless. Like, you know, how have they ended up there? You know, no, it's not a Celtic podcast.
No.
But I mean, they should have been 2-3 up at half time comfortably, cruising, and everybody going, by the way, that manager's fucking brilliant. Watch how he gives instructions out the side
So
of his
then
hand
they can
like
see it anywhere.
No.
He's ditched his tactics board. They stopped tweeting about Rangers. He's covering his mouth now.
I love his Venn diagrams.
I saw. I thought obviously Dundee United put that tweet out at full time.
That was good,
it was really good, but there was a, I think it was a Celtic fan on Twitter. I was laughing at it earlier on. This is like, I can't this isn't really the point, but that doesn't make any sense as a Venn diagram.
It did though. Like, I thought it did, because they were copying. It didn't make sense as a Venn diagram.
Aye,
but it made sense translated from what he had written, because it was like, care about this, but then aye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as a Venn diagram, it didn't look.
No,
I laughed at the pettiness of that kid. Just going, I can't what you're trying to do, but it's not really a Venn diagram, is it? Right, well, hopefully we'll not be talking about Venn diagrams or fucking stats that under the score on Saturday. John, I think it was your turn to have a look at the team. What have you gone with?
Well, I've gone for my usual slight twist on the original request, and I've come up with 3 teams, potentially 4. And I would put it out there. So
oh my God,
the reason that
it'll be about 8 players, 9 players the same anyway. You just need to tell us your changes.
It is variations, but the reason for the variations that I've gone for is actually inspired by you, Colin, and it was when we were talking last week, and it was about change, and people are looking at change, but actually the word that we're focusing on isn't so much change, it's improvement. We want things to get better.
Aye.
So with that in mind, but I think improvement comes from either from using the existing players in their existing positions, but we know from what we've described already, it's been kind of like middling. So I've gone for some slight tweaks. So Salinger is the same in all of the teams, right?
Yeah.
But in team number 1, I've gone with a back 4 of.
Is this your first pick team? Is this the one you would go with if you were the manager tomorrow? What one is that?
A gun to your head, and you have to pick a team. Is this your number 1 choice?
I haven't gone with that. I think I might have a preference out of the 3, but it's not this. It's not this one.
This is like pointless. Kevin, you say what's your first answer and what's your last answer? What one's most likely? That's your last answer.
Well,
you can do them in no particular order if you like.
I'll go with the first one. It's not my preference,
right?
But hear me out. So
in no
back
particular
4,
order.
Back 4, right to left in traditional order. Chris Cadden, Warren O'Hara, Grant Hanley, Jack Iredale, Josh Campbell, Josh Mulligan, Dan Barlaser, Jamie McGrath, Martin Boyle, Kieran Bowie.
Martin Boyle, right up front. Who was in left midfield, sorry?
Left midfield, McGrath.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, right. Hold on a wee second. Let's. We've got some reaction already. So, Sandy said Cleary must start, but I suspect David Gray may not do that. I picked Cleary because with full games, I feel he'll prove his fee. Stephen Skinner said we're missing Rocky. He's always a threat in the opposition box. Great to see him get an international goal earlier in the week. Tam said, when doing the team lineups, does John get paid by the word on this podcast? It's actually cheaper to pay John by the word than it is by the long pause. So, within that, Chris said, for fuck's sake, he had one job.
I had one job and made it 3.
And Sandy said, Hanley will be fine covering Rocky. The squad has cover. Green Tea said, so if we're good on Saturday, I worry even more about the 27th. We'll worry about the 27th when we get closer to that.
About the 27th.
We'll win that game.
I was reading folk on the fucking message boards today talking about no wearing the hoops or the stripes strip against Hearts because it'll be embarrassing. Like, we might win.
Aye.
Fuck me. Anyway.
Right, John, team number 2.
Team number 2, same back four. Midfield 5, right to left. Boyle, Mulligan, Chaiwa, McGrath, Yuan, with Bowie up front.
Yep.
I like that, by the
I
way.
didn't mind that. I didn't
Aye.
mind that.
Right, and your third team?
Third. I seem to have made. Oh no, I've not made an arse of it.
That's good.
Salinger in goal, Megwa, and this was inspired by Joe from the podcast because Megwa is a wee bit of a forgotten man, but there's a reason I've tried to include Megwa here. Megwa, O'Hara, Hanley, Iredale, Cadden, Mulligan, Barlaser, Chaiwa, McGrath, Bowie. I think in all circumstances we're going to see Bowie up front in some sort of combination, but how he's supported will vary depending on who's around him and who's in midfield, etc.
Okay, Colin, out of those 3, what are you leaning towards?
I think that, so maybe the second one with maybe McGrath on the left rather than Yuan. And then, so that was Salinger, Cadden, O'Hara,
O'Hara,
Hanley, and Iredale at the back, right? So we're set on that. With Bowie up front, and then you had 5 in midfield. So was it Boyle on the right, wasn't it?
Boyle on the right.
Aye, and then Mulligan with Chaiwa in the middle.
Yep.
I'd maybe bring in Campbell into there and put McGrath on the left.
That's
and
a
then
shout.
Drop you on.
Yeah.
So I like I say, like I think the team the team that we play and the personnel that we've got available, I think there's like various combinations that you can have of them, but I've tried to get our most potent attacking and our most solid defensive players in there. And Colin, you picked up on Yuan McGrath on the left rather than Yuan, and I'm thinking back to when we played against Falkirk, where it seemed, and there was a suggestion for one of our listeners, Dave Graham, had suggested that McGrath out on the left kind of got him out the way of Josh Mulligan.
Yeah.
And I think with the two runners or the two engines in there, Mulligan and Campbell, you kind of get the dirty work done, if you like, and then you got Chaiwa in there kind of
to get on the ball,
making things move.
I'll tell you what I like the 5 in the midfield is I think
is Chaiwa not away? No, we still got him.
Oh, sorry.
He is away. Chaiwa is away. So, but you can bring in Newell, you can bring in Levitt. I think they're both available. So
yeah, Barnes are still obviously.
or Campbell as well. Like, I mean, we do have options in the midfield. I think I would be, if I was doing that. I think Dundee United's best player is the boy for Liverpool. Is he the right back?
Stevenson, aye.
Aye.
I don't know if he's the right back or a right wing back or a right midfield.
But he plays on the right hand side. I think if we can get somebody that stops him coming forward like that would be my goal, or one of my sort of key tactical things would be to try and limit what that guy can do. Aye, so if we can pin him back, then
which you would think Yuan, but then you know what, Yuan's not going back with him either though, eh? Like
no,
so
but
that's why you might want to have a worker out there.
It's maybe not a bad thing though, because the thing is, if we have a player that goes back with him, right? So fair enough, it gives who would it be, Iredale on the left a bit of protection, but if it's Yuan and Yuan doesn't track back,
then he's going to be looking over his shoulder.
He's got to worry about him, and he has to go. He can't go as far forward as he wants.
Hedges bets a bit more. Aye.
So I think I like McGrath on the left. I think he's played well there, and I agree that we sort of free up a bit of space for Mulligan to get forward. Bowie's got to play because he always scores against the Dundee teams, doesn't he? Like so.
Yeah. Be good to get him up front properly though, rather than this sort of hybrid role playing, like some battling sort of a battle when the not in the forward.
He's not a mixu like striker, is he, Bowie? And I don't know if we're sort of shaping him like that, but he needs to be in the box and getting on the end of stuff, especially if we're going wide. Like if you were putting Boyle on the right, you won't have Bowie in the box because otherwise we've got nobody getting on the end of anything coming in.
I do agree with what you said about Cleachy there. Was it Joe that said it on the phone? Maybe I don't know if Boyle's playing well enough to justify another start. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. Like,
aye. Green Tea said that Cleachy isn't fit, but I don't know if that's not fit enough to start or just like out altogether.
He came off the bench the other night, didn't he?
He did. He Playing against Rangers. Chris is asking if Manny is still injured. So Manny played the same bounce game as Newell did in the international break. So I don't know how far away he is from featuring in the first team, or if he will ever feature in the first team. It might be that he's on his way out. And I always think when you've had a player that's been out of the picture for so long, and you know that they're close to fitness, but nobody's talking about them still, that tends to be a wee bit of an indication of where they sit in the manager's plans. Because even like Newell, we can't how close Newell was to a start again as he was getting closer, but we've not heard anything about Manny.
We are quite quiet on that though, like injury stuff. In a
We
way, I
are.
mean, even Nicky Cadden, it was like because I just suspected he'd be out for ages, but I'm seeing headlines there this afternoon that he might be available, or it's more positive news. I think is what the headline said about
Right.
Cadden's injury. So I've not read the article. I just seen it when I was coming through doing this. Actually, I know I've said a lot tonight, John. Just for your thoughts, because I sent in a chat we ran earlier the photo. Who's we get the photos for HTC on a Friday, and that
Oh
normally
yeah.
suggests. So it was Hoylett, Nicky Cadden, Yuan, and Milligan were the four this week.
All right. So
I did actually, just before we came on, I saw the picture of Hoylett. I thought, well, that blows all my teams out the water because he
I
doesn't
just
feature
remembered
in any of them.
exactly, because he's not featured at all this season, really, has he?
maybe that's
I
a.
mean, aye, like he's been in the team, but I think he's not really featured. He's not really played
Aye,
particularly well.
yeah.
I guess maybe that solves because we've not had the same output from Nicky Cadden this season. So I wonder if you put McGrath on the left and bring Hoylett in for the 10, like replacing, because that's probably Hoylett's best position now as well. We might strengthen the team that way and get a bit more. It's funny talk about like lack of creativity and that, but folk have been pointing out we're second top scorers in the league.
I know.
It doesn't feel like that, eh?
That's the
Like it feels like
inconsistency. It's because we're beating teams that were better than by threes and fours, but we're losing to the big teams.
aye.
Obviously, to be defined on who they are, depending on the week, but by a goal.
Chris said definitely was a must-win game. They were awful the other night, and if Celtic had a striker, they would have been 4 up. A win and momentum into the derby. John, how important is getting the momentum going into the derby? I'm not going to ask you how important the game is because you hate that question. I'll put it back to caller after, but the idea of building up a bit of positivity around the team ahead of the 27th.
At the risk is sitting on the fence, because I know that Chris loves that. I honestly don't know because I've seen Hibs going into derbies being confident and losing the derby. I've seen Hibs being really terrible and winning the derby. But I think if I was to kind of decide which side I wanted Hibs to be on, I'd rather go into the derby feeling a bit more confident than feeling despondent about things. But also, like, I recognise that a wee bit despondency helps temper expectations. It also kind of, if you do win the game, you do come away feeling a wee bit better. I certainly come away feeling a wee bit better because beforehand you're like, fuck me, we're shite. And then afterwards you're like, fuck it, yes, we're shite, and we still won.
Beat anybody. Colin, what do you think about this game? Is the fact that we had that reaction to the game on Monday, and the fact we never really created anything against Rangers, does that add the pressure going into the game in the morning?
It does. I think it's because with this derby, everybody's talking about this derby already, and that there's a lot to talk about. So, and I don't know if I'm misrepresenting here, but when people talk about I want change, that seems to people automatically changing the manager rather than what we're saying, as John worded it better, like improvement, or change something, a system, a formation, a player, or players, or whatever it may
Yeah.
be. I think if we lose tomorrow, like with heavy pressure going into the derby, which might not be a bad thing, right? Because sometimes you go into a derby as massive underdogs, and that's when you come out more on their fucking side than ours. It feels like, but I do think there's a bit on it tomorrow. Like, I don't think if we win if we win tomorrow, I don't think that's going to. Well, it will ease the pressure a bit, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? It's like it.
Is a stay of
It ramps
execution.
it down a wee bit. Aye, you know what I mean? Because I think if we lose the derby, there'll be folk fucking shouting for the manager and the board and hanging flags upside down and all that again.
Aye.
But
Oh no, like hanging the flags upside down is
you're all
absolutely
for
fine. They
that,
need to
eh?
bring that back.
That worked. Aye. But you know, I think winning tomorrow just like eases it a bit, so the players can focus on it rather than worrying about their jobs again, like or their manager, a new manager coming in and binning them all or whatever might happen.
Aye.
So I think it's important from that point of view to like bring a sense of calm about the place a wee bit.
Is the flip side's also true? Like, so, like if he wins and we lose the derby, the folk will lose their shit regardless, and the win is quickly forgotten about. But probably the same's true the other way. Like if he loses, if Hibs lose the morning and then win the derby, nobody's giving a fuck about the defeat to Dundee United at that point. It's like
No,
you move on. All that happened. The problem is the build up to the derby is dominated by folk talking about
yeah,
taking us as far as they can,
getting a name probably, you know,
Cowie's
like
depth, etc.
aye,
Aye.
like
Or,
El Sakikos and all that, you know, these
aye.
kind of.
Or this kind of thing. But we will think about the derby next week of the time when whether we'll do a preview show for it. But it would fall on Boxing Day, wouldn't it? We might do.
Maybe show would die.
Aye, we'll play that by ear. Right, John, what's the score going to be?
Anyone going to want to watch us on Boxing Day?
Oh, I fucking doubt it.
Best thing on TV, better than Indiana Jones.
No,
By the way, has anybody looked at the telly programs
No.
at Christmas? I went ahead on the planner. It's fucking shit. TV Christmas Eve and Christmas Day is fully like 1980s, 1990s films. Just like when we were birds are going, oh, stick ET on.
Aye, Star Wars. I used to always get the radio times and the TV times, and you flick through to find out when Star Wars was on at Christmas.
Have you not been?
Anyway.
Have you not been watching Star Wars like various episodes in preparation for a big Christmas Day bonanza?
Yep, Return of the Jedi's next one up. But it's no my turn for movie night. It's the Grinch. That's what we're watching tonight. To get properly into the Christmas spirit. Chris said 4-2-3-1 with Boyle or Clegy on the right, Hoylett in the 10 and McGrath on the left. Sandy said the loss to Rangers can actually act as a motivator, and McGrath is a good shout for that left side. He's probably good enough to play anywhere. The ultimate utility man.
Is that a +1 to his net McGrath?
I think you can suck a +1 on that one.
Not till he
does it.
Does he need to fulfil more than 2 positions to be considered a utility man? Because like midfield, left centre midfield, left midfield, that's not really. That's just like a wee shuffle.
Aye, I would say more than 2 positions and do them all well, and then you get a utility player.
And then he gets his +1.
Aye, right, John. What's the score going to be?
I'm going to go 2-0 Hibs because Salinger's normally pretty good, or has been pretty good for a clean sheet. Obviously, with the weekend they're excluded. Monday they're excluded, and we, as Colin pointed out, score a lot of goals.
Chris has suggested a phone in on Boxing Day. Everybody pitched into a preview of the derby. That might be a shout. Maybe we could maybe do that, a Christmas long bangers phone in, and everybody tune to the moon. Aye.
I think if Colin's still feeling under the weather, we should give him a couple minutes just to reel off his frustrations at the TV and life in general, because I can feel his frustration coming through.
Colin, what's the score going to be?
2-1 Hibs.
2-1 Hibs, right, straightforward. I think it'll be 3-1. I think we'll win 3-1. Similar to the game at Tannadice last season. It'll be close and then we'll nick it at the end. Okay, right, we will wrap up there. It's the time of year for wrapping, in it? So we'll call a halt there. We'll be back on Sunday to talk about the game. Hopefully the Hibs win. Do get your talking points in on Twitter or join us live when we're on, and we'll cover them all, or as many as we can. Right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see